Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is Thursday, right about lunchtime here on the West Coast. How the heck are you? Are you staying home? Are you staying safe? How's your sales doing? Mine are weird. They're not as robust as the last 6 months of this year in terms of number of items, but I'm selling more high-ticket items, and my sales are just as good. So I'm shipping less, but my sales are staying the same. So I see all this stuff that should be selling. I'm like, why isn't it selling more? But then I sell like $80 item and then a $200 item. I'm like, all right, well, $200 item takes the place of $630 item. So I guess I'm cool with that. All right. So we're going to talk about all that stuff tonight. It is Thrifty Business. It is the return of Primo Kimo and his wife, Bridget, 1 year later. So Primo was on almost exactly 1 year to the day, talking about decluttering his home. Him and Bridget collect and buy and sell a lot of vintage furniture and vintage items and know a ton about vintage furniture. So we're going to talk to them tonight. We're going to see how they did in decluttering. Good to see everybody. How are you? And here's the $1 million question. Would you have paid $20 for the Power Ranger movie soundtrack? That's the question on the table right now. Even more so, would you have paid $35 for the Hocus Pocus soundtrack with Bette Midler and Kathy and Jimmy, and I don't know who the third witch is. $20 for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, $35. Now, of course, you have figured out by now, if I'm saying that, that means I sold them for a lot more than I paid for them. So tune in tonight, because I'm going to guess the majority of you would have seen a $20 Power Rangers soundtrack and been like, nope. And even more so, $35 Hocus Pocus, no way. But you would have left behind a crazy amount of money. So tune in tonight. I'm going to share both of those plus many more with you. If you don't know, and who doesn't know this, I love flipping CDs and I love teaching about them. So you can find all my courses. I got flipping CDs, number 1, number 2, cassettes. We're working on flipping records, flipping print CDs, Christmas CDs, all that stuff over at flippincds.com can really help you out. I make thousands of dollars every month on used music. That is on top of everything else I sell. I sell clothes. I sell toys. I sell tiki mugs. I sell all kinds of stuff. But every month, thousands of dollars of my sales are all used music. And I started to gotten back to giving away one every night. So for those who have never taken it and haven't signed up just yet, tonight you have a chance to win a free webinar. And let me think. I used to give a hint in this. So if people tuned in, oh, there's my co-host. Debbie's co-hosting with me tonight. Hi, Debs. Let me think of a hint. All right, your hint is singer from New York City. That's your hint. All right. Oops. I didn't mean to do that again. And this is my sourcing tip tonight. This is the tease of my sourcing tip. Now, if you don't know the term online arbitrage, basically what that means is you go someplace online that anyone could go, buy some products, and then resell them back online for much more money. Now, this 19.1 and this 33.4 are the mystery numbers. What do those numbers mean? And since Debbie's here, I'm already going to give you a fair warning, Deb. I'm going to ask you what these numbers mean before I reveal what they mean. So, Debbie, you got a few hours to think. 19.1 and 33.4. Yeah, no kidding, Nancy. He was way ahead, way ahead. Now, speaking of our guest, this bottle is only 8.5 inches tall. 8.5. All right, so that bottle is only that tall. Wait till you see what this bottle sold for. Now, my CD scores I'm going to share with you are amazing. And then this bottle dwarfs them. Now, that is from our guest. Now, I want to catch you up. This is the first time we've done this. I'm going to do this more often. We have a lot of guests to catch up on. Like we said, we'll revisit you in 6 months or 12 months. So like any real show, there's that previously on recap. And so I actually made one, and here it is.
I grew up in California, in Palo Alto, and I vacationed a lot in Hawaii. And as a kid, I loved Primo beer paraphernalia, and I collected hats and shirts and things. And then as I got older, I still collected. And then I got a wife, and she made me stay here. I think that's what happened. So I guess just, time goes on, right? So, and then all of a sudden your stuff that you've had for 20 years that you haven't looked at, of course, that it starts to become a burden. And I turned 50, and I need one of those butt washing toilets, and they're like $1,000. So I'm like, I've got to sell this stuff. The stuff that I didn't want in the basement went up in the pink room. So the Velvet Elvises and the Whitco.
Angela's gonna faint.
Wall stuff. I mean, I probably have 20 Whitco pieces of it.
Tune in this Thursday, July 23rd at 8 p.m. at my YouTube channel, Jason T. Smith, and find out if Primo actually decluttered his home and sold enough to get his $1,000 butt wiping toilet, and we'll find out how COVID has affected him and his wife Bridget's life. And there we go. There is our first previously on. So I would recommend going back and watching that episode. I can see my internet was horrible. That's why it looked fuzzy. But Primo is so easy to talk to, easy to listen to, and his knowledge about vintage furniture and just vintage things in general is amazing. So that was 1 year ago, like July 19th, 2019. But he's on tonight, and he drank beer as a kid. So we're going to be talking about all that. Plus, he's got great scores and all kinds of new goodies in the house. We did a test today, and I saw some of the new goodies in his office room there. So tune in tonight, 8 o'clock East Coast, 5 o'clock West Coast. I should have had my little banners ready. There we go. Thrifty Business tonight, 8 o'clock East Coast. Oops, that was last week's. Let me do real quick. Return of Primo Kimo. There we go. And oops. And Deb's Angela was my co-host last time, and I would have had her repeat, but she's in the middle of weddings and selling houses and buying houses. So, she's a little busy right now, but she will be back. But tonight's Debbie and me and Primo and Bridget. It's going to be a fun show. Tons of great scores. And look, we're all stuck at home. We're going to talk some sourcing online tonight, and we're going to talk about, as always, flipping music, because I still think there's some of you that just don't believe it. And it's true. It is true. I sell so much money in music. And, if you go out even for a little bit, if you can find some collections on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, you too could be flipping CDs by the end of the week. Now, anyone can do it on their own, or you can get your jumpstart and take my courses. But those that have taken the courses have made thousands and thousands of dollars. So going to be a great show tonight. And Primo and Bridget are just genuinely fun people. So we can't wait to talk to them. So Debbie and I will see you all in, let me do the math, 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. So set your alarm. There's so many people that are like, oh my gosh, I forgot. If you're hearing this on Thursday before 8 o'clock East Coast, set your alarm for like 7:58 p.m. Maybe make a little note on your calendar so it'll pop up on your screen. Tune in to Thrifty Business on YouTube, 8 o'clock East Coast, 5 o'clock West Coast. We'll see you all tonight. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon and keep on selling.